this is our mulligan. This was the video that we are redoing because we kind of blew it on the first one that we shot in Sedona, Arizona on location. Basically, when we got back, we realized that a lot of our comments really weren't relevant because we had the wrong size bike. So we called Trek, asked them to send us a bigger bike that fit us, and we've been riding it, and we're going to talk about the bike again. And hopefully make a video that'll be more relevant and interesting and useful for you.
And then it should be noted, like, I guess we had some difficulty with the sizing, and maybe that's because Trek sizes their bikes differently than most companies. They use inches, which is sort of the old school way of doing it. They do 5 sizes rather than most companies do 4.
And this is the 19.5, which actually fit me, and I'm usually most bikes I'm more comfortable on a medium.
Yeah, I'd say the same for me, but I felt comfortable in this. Yeah, kind of felt like it was spot on.
It's worth noting that about the size for that they have that range.
Well, it's funny because this is the second to the largest bike that they offer, and both of you guys usually ride mediums. I usually ride larges, and we all felt a little bit scrunched on the 18.5. This bike, the 19.5 is about 2 centimeters longer in the top tube, so it's a pretty significant change, and it made all the difference in the world for me. I think the bike rides really well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The sizing felt really good. It was kind of for an all mountain bike, I thought it felt pretty racy. It's lightweight. It's, easy to get around the corners. It's maneuverable. I had a really good time on it.
One of the things I noticed right off the bat is a 27.5-inch wheel bike, and it felt super point and shoot. Like the front end felt super light and nimble. It's just
totally.
like, just point it somewhere and it goes. So in that respect, I mean, I felt almost like I was on a 26-inch, like the old Remedy.
Yeah, it's a 140, and it's a nice travel number. Like it pedals really well, but it still feels nimble. It doesn't feel like you're kind of floating on this big travel cloud.
Yeah.
So it still feels like playful and fun, but it's very capable.
I mean, to me, this bike felt like a bike that I'd want to take out on an all-day mission.
Yeah.
You're not going to sacrifice anything going up, and you're going to be able to pedal it all day, but it feels really capable going downhill.
Yeah. With the shock wide open, I felt like it definitely has a lot of traction on the climbs. It doesn't bob too much, but you can feel it for sure. Like it's not the most efficient bike in the world, pedaling wise. Like if you compare it to a VPP linkage or something, but it feels super supple. So there's kind of a trade-off there. And as soon as you flip the shock from descend mode into trail mode, it becomes a super sprightly climber.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like some bikes, you don't feel like you want to take advantage of those settings on the rear shock, and on this one I did.
Yeah.
And it was noticeable. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Some bikes you switch it on and you're like,
You just leave it open the whole day.
Do I really feel like I'm getting an advantage? And with this one, you do. So, I mean, it's kind of nice to have that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, on some of those steep climbs on our test track, it was just ripped right up them.
Yeah.
And then that made me even think about like how lightweight the bike is, and also really appreciating this fork, this Revelation.
Yeah, so the 9.7 has the Revelation, and then the 9.8 has the Fox Performance 34 on it. So it's a little beefier stanchion fork, maybe a little bit burlier, maybe a little bit stiffer. And I really like both forks, but I do like the compression control of the Revelation a lot. Like you've got several clicks on the fork you've got more clicks than on the Fox, which is just climb, trail, descend. So I kind of like it's a little bit more fine tunable than the Fox fork is, which I appreciate.
Yeah, so it is worth noting that the 9.7 doesn't come with a dropper post. The one that's on there we put on for testing purposes, and we swapped out the bar and stem to have a little bit wider bar on there.
Yeah, the 19.5 comes with a 750 wide bar.
750 wide.
And a
80
mil stem.
Yeah.
For most of us like to ride little shorter stems. It's completely personal preference on that. but a lot of us here like to ride pretty wide bars and short stems.
There's not as many trees in Southern California.
I mean, I think given the fact that I usually ride a medium and this is a bit longer bike, I mean, throwing that on, I think that's what made me feel right at home, right off the bat. You know, it's
Yeah, I like being able to size up a little bit and then make up that length with a shorter stem.
Exactly.
Because it gives it a little. I like the handling characteristic of the shorter stem.
yeah.
And then like we mentioned, this comes with a triple on it, and the 9.8 comes with a double, which totally preference again too. And if you like the 9.7 but like doubles, a good shop will swap that right out for you anyway. And we've got pretty short chainstays on this bike. It's 17.1 inch chainstays, which makes it feel really maneuverable.
Especially given the kind of lighter front end. I mean, you just pop it into a manual and it's like...
It just stays there. It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great bike.
I really like these tires. And I've ridden a few different Bontrager tires this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, they're doing a lot of things right. And this tire was no exception. I dug it. I mean, this kind of dry, dusty, hard pack stuff, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal tire. The XR3, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Quite a fun bike.
I'm really glad that we
4,200.
revisited this thing because we really got it wrong on the first one. If you would have seen the first one, it would not have maybe would not have made you want to buy the bike. And we were completely wrong. This is a really, really fun bike.
And for all you people who've been asking us why the video's been set to private on our YouTube channel, that's why. So thanks for your patience.